All right. Hello, everybody. I'm playing with the music. I'm still waiting for Joe to pop up. I'm in a new location. I'm in my daughter's little game room. So hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, let me know in the chat. We're going to be talking about the quality of videos over the quantity of videos. This has come up quite a bit recently because I noticed that a lot of people are like burning the candle, the midnight oil on both ends. They're putting out a lot of content. And so as soon as Joe gets here, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We do have channel reviews today. We will be getting into those. If there's anybody in the chat that has any questions throughout the stream, feel more than welcome to go ahead and ask your questions in the stream in the comments section, and we'll put you up on the stage. We'll put your question up there. Joe Eves, welcome.
Hey.
So glad of you to make it. Of course, you always give me a heart attack every single week, wondering if you're going to show.
I know, it's crazy. So we're talking about camera gear and everything, right? And so I was telling you earlier, I got a new laptop, and this laptop is running, it's running that new OS 14. And so Sony, if you're using a DSLR as a webcam, they don't have an update for that yet. So I have this Opal camera, which is like a little teeny camera, but it's like a DSLR, and I'm testing it out. So how does it look? I'm gonna mess with it a little bit, but while we're on this, but I'm not using a DSLR. It's literally like a $250 little camera.
That is so funny that you say that, because I'm in my daughter's room, and this is a 4K Allura Tech 4K webcam.
Yeah.
And the clarity to me is pretty good. I don't have the location right, because it has to sit on top of the, I would love it to be like right here, but then that would be in the middle of my screen,
Right.
So, and it has to sit up on top. But, you can do a good quality live stream just from a webcam.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like I'm actually really surprised at how well this looks. And this is like, so it has like a software that you can install, and then you can zoom in and enhance and all that stuff. This is the camera straight into my laptop.
Joe says you look pretty damn good.
Handsome Joe says I look pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, he's the good-looking Joe, so he knows. If anybody doesn't know, Joe's part of our course, and so to distinguish the two, I always refer to Joe P as the good-looking Joe.
It's better than saying I'm the ugly Joe, I guess, right?
Well,
but are you just like like insinuating that?
Well,
So anyway, well, yeah. So here I am. I'm trying this out. I actually am really happy with it. Like it looks good. There's a couple like little distortions that I'd probably want to zoom in a little bit. But literally I have it on just like a little, it's like on a little stand that's clipped to my desk, and then plugged right into the laptop.
I think it looks great. I mean, it comes like television quality, to tell you the truth. I think it looks pretty good.
Well, I'm like, maybe for all of my live streams, maybe I'll just do that, so I don't have to keep doing, because I have to connect my Sony, and then I have to you have to adjust everything, and I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. So I'm going to be messing with it. It was $250. It was so cheap.
Here, put it on the screen so everybody can see it.
Like the camera?
The camera, so like whatever, you can see it on Amazon or whatever.
Okay, let's see.
So that has to do with a little bit about quality, right? So
it does,
doing that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about quality. So people get quality confused with fancy equipment, right? And you can have quality content and basically filming on a potato, as long as the story that you're trying to convey is being told, and it's easy for the eye and the mind to connect those two things. I've seen really good videos made with somebody's cell phone. I've made really great listening videos with my cell phone. Lots of people do that now. At one time, people would be like, "Oh, you gotta have to have a DSLR, and you're gonna have this fancy gimbal in order to." And yeah, maybe that was true, ish, because the cameras were so much better than your cell phone.
Right.
But now, I mean, if you're just starting out and you're just scared to death, the quality from your phone is more than enough. It's very good. I've seen lots of YouTubers that are just using their cell phone. Lots
Yeah.
of YouTubers too. I'm
Can you
gonna
can you see
more.
my screen at all?
I can. Do you see at the bottom where it says present?
Didn't I hit present? I thought I did.
No, I didn't. I don't see the little thing right here.
Let's see. Oh, it's saying I need to open system settings and allow this. I've done this many times, but apparently I've got to let StreamYard do it.
Jeremy's saying my audio is a little off, has an echo in comparison to Joe. I'm in a different location. I'm in an office with really high ceilings today. We had a terrible thunderstorm that came through, and I guess lightning hit it over there at the little office. So we're going to be getting that fixed, but I have no internet over there right now.
Yeah, and the thing is like that's a good, like that's kind of what we're talking about today. So it's great, like the fact that you can have good equipment and you can have decent equipment, but if you don't have good audio, like that can be really distracting. And so depending on the mic you use and depending on like the type of stuff you're doing, you can get rid of like echo and reverb if you're using a condenser mic. So, and I don't know, Christine, if yours is connected or if it's going right through is it going through that condenser mic or no? I can't hear you.
It's going through the wrong microphone.
Yeah, so you're literally going through the computer's mic, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to. I don't know what happened. I can fix it.
We're all full of like technical difficulties today. Oh, look, I was just doing that and then I did like a thumbs up. I wasn't even trying to do that. But I will. So for whatever reason, it's going to make me restart. So before, what I'll do rather than that is I'll just put in the link, or maybe I'll send it to you and you can send it because it doesn't look like it's going to let me do that. I'll put the link of where I got it. And as of right now, I think it only works for Mac, but they have another cool camera that I kind of am interested in, and it's called a Tadpole, and it actually can go like what you were just talking about, how you don't like how your mic is positioned or your camera's positioned, so you're kind of looking down, you like it more on you. It's like this little Tadpole that connects to like the front of your computer screen. So you're looking right at your computer, and not like you're not looking
like up, like I am.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm like, hi Joe, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have like a like a different, like maybe like an iMac or something where it's a little bit bigger screen, and then the webcam does kind of go down on an angle, this one is cool because it can kind of hang out right in front of your screen. So it's pretty cool. But the one that I have in that link is the Opal C1. And then they have that software, the compressor, where you can tweak some stuff. I haven't done any of that yet, but not on this laptop at least. But it's pretty cool. Like I'm really, really happy with the way that the camera looks.
I'm just wondering why this didn't connect. I'm really mad.
Like that your mic isn't connecting?
Yeah, because it's all plugged in and it shows it.
Did you go to the settings in the audio and make sure that it's on that drop down?
I hit it's in the drop down. If I hit it, you can't hear me.
Yeah. Joe, the Opal right now is specifically for Mac. So if you're on a PC, it's not gonna let you use it.
I'm sorry.
But the thing is like your phone, you can go in and actually update the settings on this to make it so high quality that you don't need like a DSLR. You don't need like any of this other stuff unless you're really, really wanting to have different lenses and be able to capture some different stuff. But even this camera, it has different angles and different, like a wide angle lens and ultra wide angle. I actually stopped taking pictures with my DSLR, and I actually take all my pictures with my iPhone.
Me too.
and then I'll run it through Lightroom if I'm doing like listing photos or something, because they're so much easier and so much quicker to airdrop everything right onto the computer and then just edit it.
I do this very same thing because they actually take better pictures for your thumbnails.
Yeah.
This does than my DSLR.
Yeah.
You have to fiddle with it, you know. You have to fiddle with the
Or if
settings.
if your focus is off just a little bit, or if you're,
Yeah.
and then it's like, why do I look out of focus? And then it like focused the leaf behind you or whatever
Right.
you're on.
Especially when you're doing it yourself, you know,
Right.
and then you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to set this up and I'll put the timer on. Then you take all these pictures and they're all freaking blurry. I've done that. Like
Yeah.
but the phone never fails me.
No, and
We all love
mean,
the phone.
the quality is getting so good that
Yeah.
the one thing that you can, like, what I would say is, if you're filming and you know who your audience is and everything, like, go 4K and then film it at 60 frames a second, and it'll look so clean on a TV, because it will look, people are like, what are you using? And it's literally your phone. Just one thing is, make sure you have like a cloth and you wipe off the lens part, because a lot of people forget to do that, and then they go film something, there's like a smudge on it from like being in their
I
pocket
call
or
that
whatever.
the baby soft focus pose because it
Yeah,
always has
yeah.
this like glow around.
Yeah, and it's like, oh crap, I forgot, I need to like wipe that off.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah,
I filmed the whole
all
video
have.
like that, and so then it was for a listing video, so I made it like with dreamy music, and people were like, "That was so beautiful." I'm like, it's because my camera.
You're like,
lens.
yeah, I totally fixed that mess up.
Yeah. Editing solves so many sins.
Yeah, you can.
Editing solves so many sins. If there was one thing that you would say, you know, as far as quality is concerned, that they should not go cheap on, what would it be?
The audio, 100%.
Yep, me too. Nothing ticks me off more than watching a video and I can't hear them. Like, or the audio is really soft. Or the other thing is the music is so damn high, and you're like, oh wow, I'm sure that was a great scene. If I wish the music was a little louder. It's like,
Right.
golly. Oh, a little trick for you, by the way. If you are watching Netflix or Hulu or anything like that, the default on your audio. Have you ever like watched a movie and you're like, golly, all those background noises, you can't hear anything? That's because they have it set for surround sound as their default. So it's set to like 5-speaker surround sound as default. So you have to turn that off in order to not have those noises blare out on you. Just a little FYI.
That's a great tip. Great tip.
It has nothing to do with YouTube, but we all watch television.
No, I like that. I think it's
people
great.
are watching YouTube on television.
Right. Exactly. And so that's the thing. It goes back to like that audio then, right? Because they may be doing something in the kitchen, or they're doing something in the family room or whatever. And if they're not watching it, it's that audio that they're hearing. The other thing that I hear a lot, or that I see a lot in real estate videos, is squelching. Like, they have their audio meter way too high, and it pops and it squelches. So they're worried that I'm not recording it at a high enough level, so the decibels go like above like 0, and it's like too loud. And then
it clicks and pops.
Or it kind of makes a crumpling sound. Like, there's lots of different things that happen, but most people, when they connect their audio up, they're like, oh, I got to crank this thing up so people can hear me. And no, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you want to keep it like in that range of like between like -6, in decibels. Like, and a lot of the newer, if you're filming with your phone, a lot like the DJI, like they have a built-in one where you can actually see, so it will stop the squelching. So it will like limit the metering on it. But you still have to go in and adjust it, because if you don't adjust it, it'll be too quiet.
If you ever do that by accident and you're editing your own videos, there is a plugin called Crumple Pop that will remove that, because I've by accident had my mic turned up way too high.
Yep.
And I thought I ruined a whole video. And I just did a little, YouTube University, and I found that plugin saved my life.
Yep.
Saved my life. So Crumple Pop.
Yeah,
And
it's
they make
great.
that for, they make that for, what's the big
Final
software?
Cut,
The Final Cut Pro, but what's the other one? Premiere Pro. They make
Premiere.
them for both of those.
Hmm.
They make them for both of them. So now that we've talked a little bit about quality, let's talk about the quantity. Do you believe, like I heard somebody last night, I was interviewing somebody, they put out a video a day.
Wow.
Do you think it's necessary that a person do a video a day to have success on YouTube? Do you think that is important?
I think it depends on the. I think it depends on the channel. Like if it's a real estate channel, no. Like
Right.
I don't think you need that. If it's a gaming channel or if it's a cooking channel or something that you can crank stuff out a lot easier because it's more tutorial based and you're just screen recording stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe. But as a real estate agent, you'll get burnout. Like because you have to create the script, you have to write the stuff, you have to do it. And this is on top of like doing business, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're doing real estate. So my opinion is if you can schedule it to where you're doing one a week and you do good quality, that's all you need.
Another thing that people get twisted though, and because they get excited about the numbers, they put out so much content that they end up trampling over their own views. And
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand many times. So what will happen is that like somebody will have a really good video about the housing crash, and then the next day they put out, or even 2 days later, they put something out about the housing market crashing. Then they'll do another video and they'll be like, the housing market is headed for a crash. So now they put 3 videos out about a housing crash, one right after another.
Yep.
And then all of the videos after that first initial video like aren't doing that great. And then that first initial video that was really taking off kind of starts to slow down. So then they start panicking and they keep dumping out all this videos thinking that, they're kind of like chasing the views basically.
Right.
And what they're really doing is trampling all over their views. They're not giving that video enough time to grow. A lot of times that happens with, anything that goes viral that people are like, because you'll hear from some of the gurus, they'll say, oh, you got to capitalize on this and you got to put out a video right away about the housing crash. And then it works against them. If you do that too soon, your next videos are not going to do nearly as good as that video that was taking off. I always say if you have a viral hit, wait at least a month before you put in another video about that specific video. So, just because it got a bunch of views, you don't have to put out a bunch more. Don't crank up the quantity of those amount of videos thinking that's going to be the thing that's going to take your channel off.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the worst thing that you can do. It's like oh, you just made like a banger and it's like hurry and make another one, and it's like, well, you didn't even let that one like marinate. You didn't even let it go run its course. And kind of like what you're saying is if you give it 4 weeks, that gives it a good chance to go, and then you can build and add another video that is along those lines to supplement it.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back to like having a playlist strategy, right? I mean, that's
Right.
the thing is you have to have that playlist strategy, or you're just chasing views.
Joe says, let them bangers marinate. Good rule of thumb. Yeah, it is. It's hard though because especially, all right. So this has happened to me too. So I had a video that did really well, and then the next video that came out tanked, and I was like, oh my gosh, well now I've killed my channel. But that original video that was doing well was still continuing to do well. So I was like, okay. And then the video after that did okay. It did pretty well. But then because I let it marinate for almost 5 weeks, when I put another video out about the same topic, that video went to the moon. So I learned, I was like, oh, well, patience is key. Patience is key. I know a lot of you are hustlers, like you were like, I want to put in the work. I can do it, and I realize that, but sometimes too much work is too much,
Yeah. Well, and it's, I mean, it's exciting to see, right? When you get a video that takes off and you're getting, massive views, you get all excited and then you're like, what do I do next? What do I do next? And then it's like, well, I did that and it worked. So maybe I got to put another video out like that.
I have to acknowledge Eddie Smallhorns in the chat. Eddie, I want to let you know that the audio doesn't work. I don't know what happened with the microphone. It doesn't work.
Technical difficulties.
It says it's connected, but it doesn't actually work. So I just wanted to let you know that. That's why I sound like this. I'm feeling better, by the way. If anybody that's had the flu recently, that's because of me. Oh, and another thing, Joe, I want to tell everybody about. Looks, and good looking Joe may want to know this. It looks like I'm going to be in Pennsylvania in March. Isn't that exciting?
That's
I'm
exciting.
going to be doing a conference out there, and we're going to be talking. I'm going to be talking about all the things you need to know about starting a YouTube channel. But you guys that are in the chat, you already know all about that stuff. But these are people that they don't even have YouTube channels. So I'm really excited about going out there. We're going to be doing more speaking gigs. So if anybody wants either Joe or I or the both of us to come out to your conference and talk to you guys about, talk to your board or your office about YouTube, hit us up. We will do it. We will do it.
Yeah, we like the thing is that there's so much opportunity right now for people to get in with YouTube, and especially agents. It's becoming easier and easier to create content. You have your phone that you can do videos, you have digital like audio things that you can get, and it's all relatively inexpensive. You already have a phone. If you have like a newer iPhone, then that's your camera. You invest a little bit in some audio gear and maybe an editing program, and you're on your way. The thing is that the entry to getting on to YouTube and that is so easy now. Like,
it's so much easier now than it ever was.
And the other thing is, like, editing is so much easier now too. Like, they've come out, you have CapCut, you have all these different tools that you can use. I'm kind of old school and hate doing stuff on my phone as far as editing goes, but I have a computer and I'll edit on that, and I love it. Like, but the thing is I'm amazed at how easy it is to edit. And there's lots of different tools out there that you can use to help you expedite your editing. And then if you're doing podcasts or other things, there's AI tools to even create more short form content and add the text and everything in there for you. So there's so many tools that you can do that with.
My favorite tool is the one that you told me about. And it takes out all the like dead air.
Oh yeah.
What's it called again? I always forget the name.
It's oh geez, I can't remember. Thunderbolt. I can't remember. It's something like
I think it's Thunderbolt
or something like that. Yeah.
It's this thing that like
Time Bolt.
Time Bolt. That's it. Time Bolt. So what it does is it takes all. I'll do this thing. I'll be mid sentence, and then it's like I get like a frog in my throat. I can't talk anymore. And I pause for a few seconds and I'm staring at the camera. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody hits the start button again and I just start talking. So I'll have like literally 7 seconds of dead air. And I used to like put that in the timeline and just cut all those out. And it takes time. Like I would get done. I'm like, God, that took me 40 minutes to get through all those clips to take it all those out. But then you put it in this thing and you just
cuts it all out for you.
It cuts it all out for you. So, and it's already pre-cut. So even all the little extra areas where you talk too much or whatever, you can just take that whole clip out.
You can just delete it.
It made my editing life so much easier. Much easier. I don't edit that much anymore, but this week I'm actually editing my video. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because I'm editing my own video.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So I
haven't done it in a long time, so I'm a little nervous.
You'll be fine. The one thing that I do want to like let people know is that like it doesn't have to be like a scary thing to get into this. If you're like just dabbling and you're like, man, I really want to get into YouTube, but I don't know how to talk or I don't know what to do. Like if you have $20 a month that you can spend, get ChatGPT Plus, and it will help you write your content. It'll help you script it. Like it will save you hours and hours and hours. We had a student, Stephanie, she was spending, I think, 7 hours writing her script out. Mm-hmm. And she gave her a couple little tips and hints on ChatGPT and, you know, kind of trained one for her. And she literally dropped it down to like, I think she was saying like 20 minutes or something. And it was taking her
Yeah.
7 hours. And then it was a couple more little prompts that she figured out after I told her. And then it was like, it cut it down even more. So like we have these tools to really, really help us expedite and get information out there. And it's with the fact that you can now crawl like live websites and everything and show your sources, like there's no reason that you can't put together a good quality video, especially you're already an expert in your field. So now it's like just adding that supplemental information.
Well, Joe even has part of the course that shows you. It's a tutorial. He created his own course within our course that basically shows you how to use ChatGPT to go through your channel, to help discover your avatar, to go help you with your going and reading all your comments. It basically scrubs your channel so you can identify your avatar better.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're doing something where I've got, I mean, hours and hours and hours of tutorials on this that's really broken up into like little sections so you can learn what you want. And part of it, what we're doing is I'm giving that free for anyone that signs up for Real Estate Geeks. And I have people that pay it on the, you know, pay for it outside of that, but
Right.
anyone that wants to join, this is another reason to join, as we believe in giving and helping people. This is one thing that we're giving to those students that want to sign up. So if you've signed up and you don't have access, remind me on the call and I'll get you guys access to the ChatGPT masterclass, because it's really good. I mean, I'm biased, but it's really good.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about because this is about quality versus quantity. So you can this is a live stream through StreamYard. You can actually get StreamYard for free. The only thing that would be different is there's that little green duck that would be in the corner.
Yep.
And so you would have their advertising on it if you wanted to use their free version. But you can purchase it. It's not that expensive. This is just I think this webcam cost me a total, I think it was $70 during a Black Friday thing. And then my microphone obviously isn't the one I would normally use. But if you guys are looking for a deal on those kinds of things, there's people that give up all the time. They start all this stuff, they buy a bunch of crap, and then they're like, oh man, I'm not going to do any of this. And then it's hardly used. And so you can buy it on like Facebook Marketplace. They're always selling all that stuff for free. Oh, well, like not free, but
it's major discount though.
Yeah. So, and they barely used it, so you might as well take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Live streaming is probably one of the easiest ways to make content, and not only that, you can really connect with an audience that way. People like to see their name on the screen, and they like that their questions are answered live, and they like to hear their name being said. So it is a really great way to do content easily, and you can do it like once a week. I highly recommend live streams.
Yeah, that's what we do, right? I mean, we literally pop on and we talk about, the questions that people have. We do a channel review. We go over things that we've seen that people have questions on, as far as, with YouTube, with real estate, those types of things. And then we just incorporate that into a conversation that we're having. And, in the beginning, it might seem a little intimidating, but it's actually really, really easy to get started. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And then what's awesome about that is you also can take this and you can repurpose it onto Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And like after that, you can cut it up and add it as shorts or reels. I mean, there's so many things you can do with it. And it really, there's no editing. We're not editing right now. We're literally just talking, having a conversation, and then it'll save it on our YouTube page.
The one thing that they changed on StreamYard, and I noticed that today because I was sending you the link. It used to be that it was connected straight to Facebook messaging, and they just took that off. So
that's
that was
weird.
Something that's just changed recently. I don't know why. Maybe that's just a glitch for the week, but just noticed that. Just want to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So, do we have channel reviews this week, Joe?
Let me see. I think we have a couple here.
Yeah. So, if you do edit your videos yourself, I'm going to tell everybody this right now, and especially if you're new. it is a learning curve, and just start slow. Just start taking out the O's and ums, and you learn a lot from watching YouTube. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I always suggest that everybody, no matter where you are, is to at least edit a few videos yourself, just so you can be able to tell an editor what you want. It's hard to tell an editor what you want if you've never edited a video before, because you're like, I don't know, just make it look good, and that isn't what you want to do anyways. You want to be able to give them specific instructions on how you want your videos edited. They can make something look good, but that may not be really good for your specific niche. It may not really be really good for your avatar. So you really need to kind of dial it in before you hire a editor. I know a lot of people just jump right in. They get on Fiverr, they hire an editor, and they're like, no one's watching my videos. And I'm like, what do your analytics say? Oh, well, I get this big hockey stick. Well, then your hook isn't good. Well, why isn't it good? Like there's so many different things. You really have to understand who you're making videos for. You have to understand who your avatar is, and the edit makes a big difference on when people watch and how
Yep.
long they watch and how long they watch.
I agree.
Do
I
you concur,
concur.
Joe E?
I concur. So I put a couple links in there that we can pull up. Some of them I think we've done before, but
Maybe they might want it again.
yeah, it may have been. We had one, this Holly Smith. She filled it out for sure, like just recently. So we can go over that one.
Yeah, I think she did it earlier in the week, so she really wanted that, didn't she? I think
it says that we got it
Thursday.
20 out, like we got it on that. Well, actually, it looks like it was created on the 23rd.
Yeah, there was one that came in on Thursday. I thought it was Holly.
I think that was the next one.
Okay. All right, we got moving y'all to Georgia with Holly and Matt Smith.
That's how my wife spells her name. Her name's Holly as well, and it's Holli.
When I first saw that came in, I thought maybe she was testing. Yeah, I thought your wife was testing something.
Yeah, no, she's not doing that yet.
Yeah, they don't have
a banner.
Channel banner.
Yeah,
that's strange. I didn't know you could have a channel without a channel banner.
Maybe they just never uploaded one.
Yeah. Yep. So that would be my first suggestion, Holly. Just go ahead and put in a channel banner. And the channel banner should have something that relates to your area. Usually, like I say, like do a skyline of the area and then give some kind of call to action on the screen. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think I like the moving y'all to Georgia. Like I like that. Mm-hmm. And I like their profile picture. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. Looks good, nice and clear.
Yeah, it's mainly maybe just working on a little bit of a banner, and then also on the about I don't think they filled that out either. So
nope. It looks like they just started in
May. Yeah, so yeah, that would be my first thing, is if you want to try to amp up lead generation, make sure that on the about page you put a little bit of information and for them to book a call with a link that goes to your actual like a squeeze page where you can collect their data, and not just like an MLS or a website that has information, but rather give it a call to action where they can book a call with you.
Yeah, like fill out this about section. Let the public know what your channel is about. Don't talk about yourself. Talk about what your videos are going to do for them, and then add your Calendly link that they can book a call with you, or something that lands to a landing page. You are correct, Joe Eves. I like it. Good stuff. Don't add. I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't add other social media sites in this section. I know there's a space for it and it asks for it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do you concur, Joe E?
I concur.
All right. So we have let's just talk about this thumbnail right here. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so a couple things is you're automatically saying the exact same thing, the text on the thumbnail, as your title, and the thumbnail you should have an opportunity to grab their attention. And so I guess I'm a little confused on what the uh, like cut marker is for,
The
are they,
clapboard.
yeah, are they, is it a, like, are they in the filming industry there? I don't really know, but like, so I guess what I would say is try to make your thumbnails more, more clear and like not as much text on there, and make yourself bigger. Like you should follow the rule of thirds, which is mean one third, one third, one third, or one third, two thirds. So like have yourself bigger, and then maybe have what the pros and cons are. Maybe you're in the middle, really big, taking up one third of that thumbnail, and then the other one third and one third are the pros and cons, and it may be a check mark and a red X or something with two different landscapes of, whatever you're talking about in Covington, Georgia.
Right. And then the other thing is I would never repeat the title of your video on your thumbnail itself. So you have the title is Pros and Cons of Living in Covington, Georgia. And think of the cover, think of your thumbnail as like the cover of a book, something that's going to grab their attention enough to pull the book off the shelf. So I would have something in this image, for the pros and cons, I would have like one side look like where it's kind of like almost like a red cast where it like showed like traffic or pollen or something like that would make people go, ooh, I don't want that. And then the other side have like city parks or, people walking around the lake, because that would be, a pro, so make sure that your sides like would have like like almost like a versus, a pro on one side, a con on the other side. You don't necessarily have to have your image on the thumbnail. I know that some coaches will tell you that you have to have your personal face on there for branding. You don't necessarily have to do that. You're wanting to get people to click on it. And sometimes not having your face on there works. I do that with my videos. Sometimes I don't put my face on the thumbnails because they're wanting to see the house. They could care less about my face. So experiment with that a little bit, but never repeat the title of your video on your thumbnails themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the thing that you want to focus on is when you make the thumbnail, like have people give you feedback and just show it to them and say, what is this video about? If you saw this thumbnail, tell me what this video is about. Like really, really make it to where they can see in an instant and have an idea of, okay, that's what this video is about. And then your title then supports that thumbnail and creates that kind of that juicy title and makes them want to like click on it and see what the video is all about.
Her thumbnails remind me exactly of what mine used to look like when I first started.
Yeah, they're very colorful, very busy.
Yep, I did the same thing. Did the very same thing. And I'm looking at these, and to me, these look like something that people on Fiverr make.
Right.
And it's not that they're doing a bad job. It's because they don't know what this niche needs. So they're doing very basic, very templated thumbnails because they don't understand who your avatar is and who you're making videos for. So that just takes a little bit of time and study. We teach people how to discover that so they can make better thumbnails. But that should get you started a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing I would say with that is as you're doing that, they can make a thumbnail look pretty, but if it doesn't resonate with your intended audience, they're not going to click on it. So you have to really know who you're making the content for.
Yeah. That, I mean, like I think she's just doing a lot of what other agents are doing. Kind of just following what works for other agents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that. Let's see if I don't even think she has any playlists. I don't see anything here as far as playlists.
No.
Oh, you know what? There's something we should talk about. We don't talk about this very often. So this community tab is a great way to communicate with an audience. They have all sorts of features on there that gets people involved that may have never even seen your channel before, because it will end up in their newsfeed as like a poll question. They're like, oh, what's this? And they just answer it. And then if you do enough of those, they're going to be like, what is this channel? I don't even think I'm subscribed to it. And then they end up subscribing to it. I did a test a couple weeks ago where every single day for a week, I just did poll questions just to see if it would drive traffic to my channel. And it did exactly what I thought it was going to. It drove traffic to my channel, where I got more subscribers just by asking questions in the community section. So I strongly advise. It takes literally no time, and you can schedule those ahead of time in your community tab. You can schedule. There's a little button on the right hand side that says schedule. Do that, and you can have them come out every day for the whole entire week, and that way you can add some more buzz around your channel.
Yeah, that's a great way to create that engagement, and you can use ChatGPT to help you come up with those questions or those polls.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we did this one last week.
We did. Did we not get any more?
That's all that I saw in there.
Okay.
So my guess is that either I'm going to check and make sure that page isn't broken, but that was the only one that we got that I saw.
Yeah, that was on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the last one that came in. Wow, nobody likes us this week. That's all right. Maybe we've just helped so many people that they just don't need to hear from us this week.
Yeah, or maybe they're like, oh, I got to do a bunch of stuff before I put my channel in there. I don't want to be embarrassed or something. And the thing is we're not doing it to be mean or to embarrass. We truly want to help you guys.
Right, and then and here's the other thing too, is like just because you got a channel review this week, and you make a bunch of changes, come back and we'll help you along the way. I mean, this concept of us doing channel reviews isn't anything new. We actually learned this from Nick Niven, and there were people that would fix stuff that he told them, and they'd say, okay, I fixed the banner, and he'd go, okay, and he'd put them back up on the screen and just walk them through helping them. So, I mean, it's an old concept that we stole from Nick Niven.
Yeah.
But we do it because we genuinely want to help, And if you're ever bored on a weekend and you want to listen to a live stream about YouTube, go listen to Nick Niven for 2.5 hours on Saturday.
Yeah, he has a lot of great information.
He really does. And do you know whose student he used to be?
Whose?
You're never going to guess. You might have heard of the guy.
He's been in the game for a long time, so
he was Daryl's student.
Mine?
Yeah, back in the day.
No, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Right. So if you go back in Daryl and Eve's old channel, this is Nick had another channel before he was a YouTube guru helper, right? And he was helping this guy who really wanted to do really well on YouTube, Nick, on his channel.
That's really well. I mean, that makes a lot of sense that he speaks at Vid Summit then.
Yeah, it is so funny because I'm like, oh my god, it was like you could just see Nick going, yeah, okay. It was just funny because I'm like, oh my god, we all start there, every single one of us.
Yeah, 100%. Jeremy Blanton is saying, hey, tear my channel apart.
Oh, okay, Jeremy, you asked for it. Jeremy spoke in class today. So I'm sure he's never heard that line. Never, ever. Let me, we're going to go ahead and share this. Share screen. No, not that one. We're going to do this one. Oh, look, there he is. Hi, Jeremy. I know you. Okay, Myrtle Beach blog, Myrtle Beach area info, real estate advice. Remax, Children's Miracle Network, your myrtlebeachhomesblog.com, and then your phone number. I don't hate it. I don't think, to me, if I was to write something on there, I would write something to let the viewer know more of what your channel is actually about. Because to me, a blog, I would think it would be just you walking around with a stick going, look, here's Myrtle Beach. I wouldn't. Yeah. It wouldn't be until I got into like the next line that says real estate advice, which is smaller.
I do like that he has book a 30-minute call with me, though.
I do too. I like it. I like it a lot. The other thing too is your thing cuts off. If you look right here.
Yeah, you got to go adjust that
block.
Yep.
like pull it down just a scotchy scotch. Because it just cut off. This is what I hate about they do not make these banners easy. I've literally sat there and like kept doing little micro little things because if I did too much, then I looked like I was down here.
Yeah, and the thing is if you're doing it like because a lot of people are watching on TV, so you have to do that whole big piece. So then you're just like, okay, in this section, and you have to make it. It's hard to like line it up so that if you're on the phone or you're on the computer, it looks like that, but on the TV, it looks totally different.
Correct.
So
yeah. When you see those banners now, it used to not matter that if you didn't fill in those blank spaces at the top and the bottom, and you can make the top and the bottom look really stupid because no one really ever watched it on television.
They see them now.
But there's a lot more watching on television now. There's a lot more watching on television now. So yeah, fill in the space. Yep. All right. So let's look at your about section. This is Myrtle Beach blog. On this channel. Thank you. Yeah, you did it right.
Is that has he verified his link though? Because can you click on that? There you go. Book a call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Look at that. Genius. Good times. Good times.
I'd be curious, Jeremy. Have you done that always, or did you just incorporate that after watching the live streams? I'd be curious to know if that's something that you've already done beforehand, or if you incorporated that.
He said, Joe says better suck to make. All right, here we go. Jeremy says,
a while back.
Well, he's a smart guy. He actually builds websites too. Did you know that?
Who, Jeremy?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's a WordPress dude. He likes it. All right, here we go. Pros and cons of living in North Myrtle Beach. I don't hate the thumbnail.
Yeah, right off the bat, like it's good and bad, just by the thumbs.
Yep, I concur. Let's look. Oh, I like this one too, with the blocks turning over.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would say is like you see where the timestamp is. It's kind of blocking that number.
Yeah, either move it over or move it up a little bit. Probably move it over.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm nitpicking. That's a good thumbnail.
I like that thumbnail.
AI generated.
Yeah. I wonder if you use the AI tool.
I don't know. Did you use the AI tool, Jeremy? Every once in a while, he'll throw me a thumbnail and be like, "What do you think of this?" Yeah, retiring soon. Yeah, you're on the right track. I know you know what you're doing. Look, see, I want everybody to see. You see how he's using 1/3 of if he's gonna put his face on it, he's using 1/3 of the screen of his image. See, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, those look great.
Yeah, this one's a good one. Don't do it.
I like also how he's positioning himself, and then the text is kind of going behind him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Good show. Look at the hurricane. That was funny. Yeah. Yeah, and you're consistently getting about the same amount of views too. I like it.
Yeah, I think that looks great.
Yeah, you're doing a good job, Jeremy.
You didn't tear it apart.
We did not. Because Jeremy spoke in class today. Oh, I can't help myself. Living in Redmond, Oregon says, let's do hers. We'll do it. Living in Redmond. Here we are. Oregano. I have a family member that they do not say oregano. They say Italian and they say oregano.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. They're relatives of mine.
You're just like, don't say it.
Italian. I love me some Italian. Where is this? Living in Oregon. Where is Redmond, Oregon? I'm trying to find the channel name. All right, let me look by channel. I'm not finding it right away. You might be new, so it might take us a little bit. Channel.
There it
Aha! Here
is.
we go. Oh, you got some competition here. Look at that.
Mhm.
You got moving in
Collaborators.
and living in. All right, helping you move to Oregon. Clear and concise. I like your value proposition. I like it. Helping you move to Oregon. You can't be any clearer of what your channel is about. We're going to help
Yep.
you move to Oregon. You don't need to have the subscribe on there. But other than that, I mean, this is fine. What do you say, Joe?
I like it. I really like it, actually. The only thing that and this is nitpicking, but the only thing that I would do is either drop a harder drop shadow or do like a white stroke around the green Oregon, because it kind of blends into the mountain. But
Oh, okay.
but other than that, I mean, it's very clear what she does. I like it.
Yep. I like it too. And I love her profile picture. See how I love that her face fits like
Yep.
most of the circle. You know, it's not like this little tiny image. And that's what happens a lot of times is that you have this picture of the person and they're standing like so they're in that circle and they're standing there like this.
Yep. And then
They
they're
just
like
look
this
like a
big.
stick.
Yep.
They just look like a stick in the middle of, I mean, it looks like show your face. It's a profile picture. You know, you don't, no one needs to see everything. Like they want to see your face. They want to connect with you. I think that was great. Yep. All right, let's look at her about section really quick. Mm-hmm. All right. Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Central Oregon? Well, we're in the right place. Absolutely love. I specialize in working with clients that are relocating. I would just I mean, this isn't bad. I would just frame it more of what they're going to get from the videos that you create. Um, that's what I think. What do you say, Joe?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything
Yeah, I
wrong
just
with it.
reframe it a little bit.
Yeah. The only thing that I would say is get rid of your other socials on there. You don't need a link to those. And
Mhm.
then really the only link you should have on there is hopefully a link to a where they can book a call, or they can. It's great that you're giving them your number to text or to call them, but really what you want is to capture their information. You want their name and their phone number, email. That's what you want. And if they fill out the form, then it's now they're not texting you. And it's the other reason why I think it's so important is because they may be watching this at, you know, 2 in the
3 o'clock
morning.
in the morning.
Yep. And it's like, hey, I don't really want to talk to them right now, but I am interested. So if you have it to where they can fill out a form and then it auto responds letting them know that you've received their information and you'll be reaching out shortly, then, or the next business day or whatever it is that you have, then they know, oh, I've been heard and someone's going to reach out to me. And if they've been following you for a while, they're going to be really excited to talk to you because they've already been kind of stalking you a little bit.
And I'll tell you this too. The only reason we say don't mention anything about your other social media sites is YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube. They don't want any person to leave the platform. They want you to stay there as long as possible so they can sell more ads. So if you're going to take them off the platform for a reason, make it a reason that's a good reason, which is to capture their information. So just take off all that other social media site stuff. They don't
Yep.
need to know that. Unless you have like humongous, really super active account on another social media site, then that makes sense. But I can, from most of us, most real estate agents, we don't
They're
have
not going to
like a
have it.
huge following
Yep.
on another social media site. All right, let's look at her. Let's look at her little thumbnails here. All right. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, like you probably didn't know this. They just changed this. You see how like your the words are kind of getting cut off on the sides where it says Ward Commons, and that's because they just changed the way that they do the thumbnails. They rounded it. They rounded the corners, so it's cutting off the words there. But I don't even think you need those words on there, to be honest with you. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think that you could put yourself and position yourself bigger on that thumbnail so that you're taking up like 1/3 of that. Like so you can see the whites of your eyes. Like you're so big that they can see it. You look super friendly. Like I would make sure that you put yourself on there so that you're at least 1/3 of that thumbnail if you're going to put your picture on there. And then find something to use in the background to grab their attention, like design a thumbnail that's going to talk about, you have like check out the neighborhood and then you've got like a slash word and then it truncates off. You want to make sure that you have like a smaller title, but really the thumbnail looks, it doesn't look complete because it's getting cut off, so it doesn't look right. And then two, like you have an opportunity to really put yourself more on that thumbnail if you're gonna do that, and then use whatever's in that neighborhood or what is something that's unique, and try like maybe an arrow with a map pointing to
I was
it.
gonna say, look here. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, instead of word commons, I would say, look here with an arrow, and
yeah,
then pointing to some random building that's over there, and then I'd kind of move you up to the left a little bit, and make your image much bigger. And like Joe said, see the whites of your eyes, because you're pretty. You want people to look at you, and people like connecting with people. I just want to see what it says. Check out Redmond's newest neighborhood, Ward Commons in Redmond, Oregon. Live smaller and smarter. Let's try this title a little bit better. Um, I would just be like Redmond's newest neighborhood, um, that helps to help you live larger, but in smarter. They don't need to know that like the houses are small, or live large with a smaller budget. I
yeah.
think that like people love talking about money, and if they're gonna feel like that they spent less money but got more for their money, it's gonna make them feel good. See, and I would have put that Ward Commons thing in the actual description and not in the title. Do you concur, Joe?
I concur. I'm looking at something really faster, so sorry if I'm feeling like I'm not paying attention, but I'm just looking at that title.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just really, really long.
Yeah.
No, hold it like up here.
Like
So I always say, like, try to bring it down to like 60 characters, 60, 65 characters. This seems to be a lot more than that.
I agree. I concur.
Oh, these are cute houses. Look at them. Do you know what they call these houses in my area?
A townhome?
And I will
They call them the gentrification houses.
Oh,
They call those style of homes the gentrification houses. I wonder if they do that in Oregon. That's what they call them there. So, anyway, what was that? I was gonna show. Oh, you know what I was gonna share? I was gonna share this. Look at that! Do you know this website, Joe?
I do. I've seen it once or twice.
Yeah, this is where you go if you want to join our course. Joe and I, after this call is done, we have an hour-long break, and then we go and work with our students. One-on-one coaching with each and every one of them. We have new students coming in that have just come in. They're in their, third week with this week, yeah?
Yep. Yep.
They're in their third week. And we help them all along the way. Do you want to add anything to that, Joe?
If you're serious about wanting to grow your reach and you want to grow your real estate business, then YouTube is that place that you want to be. Like there's just so much opportunity there, and more people are tuning into YouTube to learn. And it's a very, very blue ocean as far as real estate. I think a lot of agents think I'm too late. It's too late to get going. I can't make, I can't make an impression because there's just too many agents. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. There's so much opportunity on YouTube right now, especially if you're just getting started.
Yep. And That way you can learn our system, because we have a playlist system. We help you understand what your thumbnails work. We help you understand what titles work. It's a whole system. But I'll tell you, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's not. I'm not gonna make it. It's a plug and play easy system.
So I want to plug one other thing. So I took that title that she did and I gave it to Frank. Frank is our AI that we have trained specifically for our course. And I basically pasted the title in and said, make it juicy. And it's like, let's spice this thing up. And it says, here's a suggestion. It says, Redmond's hidden gem: discover the secrets to smarter living at Word Commons. And that was AI doing it. And you can obviously go in and tweak it. Now, the worst thing you can do is go in and have AI make your title. That's not what this is. We've actually taken the information and trained it to go off of the stuff that we teach. So this is only for students that are in our course, but it's in a few seconds you can now bounce off ideas, and it gives you explanations of why they think it's a good title, and that's going off of the information that we've trained it through the course that we provide.
Yeah. Well, and that and nothing will make Joe and I angrier than when people turn in because we ask them to do their homework and we go over their titles and playlists. And if they come in and we know immediately within 2.5 seconds, I don't even have to take a breath of oxygen. I know when it's created by AI.
Yep.
I know instantaneously. It's very clear if it's made by a human or made by AI. So don't ever turn in your homework to us. Good looking Joe in there. Don't ever make AI thumbnail, AI titles and think you're going to get away with it.
But you can use it to flush out ideas, and I think that's the thing that saves you a lot of times, because you may not think about certain words or ways that it's phrased, and that's very helpful.
Yeah, I do sing.
Look, you're singing.
Did you see that? That was the part where I was singing.
Yeah.
So stupid.
That was awesome.
All right, everybody that's a student, we will see you in 1 hour. Everybody that would like to be a student, go ahead and go to realestatevideogeeks.com, and we will go ahead and just fill out that form. We'll get a hold of you. You can decide if you want to join now and be a part of the 3-week course, join when it's 3 weeks in, or you can go ahead and join now, and you can get started in about 5 weeks. So,
yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Joe Eves. It was
Thank you. Always a pleasure chatting.
Yes. Quality over quantity.
Yep.
Quality over quantity. It's easy. Easy peasy. That was the easy stream. All right, everybody. So long.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone, for showing up, and everybody that let us review your channels at the end. I appreciate you.